And we're going to move on to two others because I want to tell you what's coming. There's a beautiful young lady, and her name was Arlene Westervelt. She was a registered nurse, and she was married to a Berticus, Bert Westervelt. And they, after some delay in the Mounted Police, they finally decided to redo an investigation. And that disappeared. And it disappeared because Berticus Westervelt had a close association with the superintendent of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. In fact, I interviewed a man in Edmonton that taught them how to move drugs and set up the equipment in Lake Country. Justice for Arlene. But none of this evidence has come forward in court. And when they found out that there was a superintendent in charge, oh boy, here goes the investigation. And then the coroner's office decided to cover it up. Then the Crown prosecutors decided to cover it up. I had made an application as a civilian because of my knowledge of some of the police work and what I can do as a civilian. So I laid 5 criminal charges to the people that covered it up. One of them was the Deputy Commissioner of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in British Columbia, Dwayne MacDonald. The other one was, surprise, surprise, the Premier, David Eby, who was the Attorney General at the time that knew all about this. The other one was Peter Duke, the Deputy Attorney General. And I asked for an outside police force to investigate it. Never got it. I laid these criminal informations, and then a short while ago, they all got withdrawn, all got dismissed. I had requested a transcript, and when it's in camera, the news people can't be there, and if they are, they can't talk about it. It's worse than Houdini being in a safe with chains around him. I will produce that document that I have, and the judge I had to go before to get it. And everybody said, "You're not getting it, Don." I got it. I will be charged with a contempt of court if I produce that file I have. I had never planned this, but sometime in the new year, I'm going public with this document. It shows how bad this was covered up. In all my service and my civilian life, I have never seen something this bad and at the levels it was at get covered up. Do I want to do time? I don't think I'm going to do a lot because they're going to have to justify it. Excuse me. And in order to have something in camera, it has to be the protection of children, either sex issues, sex trafficking. We have to protect these children. The second one is undercover police officers that a public trial would expose who they are. So their lives are at risk. And the third one is the secrecy, integrity of our federal government. None of those things applied to this case. So how did it get put in camera? And I will be going public on this a little later, because a young lady died. No, she was murdered. Arlene Westervelt. And some mounted police officers have gotten off scot-free. And I have all the documents I need to lay another prosecution. There's no limitation of time on these charges. There's no limitation of time on rape. 20 years from now, it can be laid. And you're seeing old cases where this is happening. But when it involves people up here, it's gone. Well, it hasn't gone. There's an old guy called Don Matheson that is going to let this go. If our members want to cover up crimes involving them, that's bad enough. But when you want to cause problems for civilians and I'm around, it's not going by. I have an obligation to stand up to this.